Welcome back to OK Hobby Time. Today we're continuing with the Crafted Campaign, a series where each terrain build and set of painted miniatures brings our ongoing story to life. We follow our heroes through the narrative, build locations tied directly to their journey, and hint at what lies ahead. This chapter takes our adventurers to a mysterious tomb. But before we start the build, let's recap where the story left off. A band of mercenary adventurers, drawn by rumor and coin, arrived in a remote town afflicted by a strange plague. Their rest at a local tavern was cut short when a merchant, his body ravaged by boils, collapsed dead in the town square. The mayor pleaded for the group's aid, offering a reward to uncover the source of the strange plague. His only lead was thin. Local bandits had been seen harassing the victim shortly before his death. The trail led to a deserted camp beyond the town, where the party was ambushed. Gwen fell to an arrow and was rushed back to the town by Bobar. The party defeated 2 bandits and took the remaining 1 captive. Though innocent of any knowledge of the plague itself, the captured bandit revealed a darker thread. The bandits received an anonymous tip that the adventurers were coming, and when pressed further, he spoke of a hidden location frequented by cloaked figures, a place his men had been paid to guard. With no other leads and questions mounting, the party chose to follow him into the woods, in hopes to find whatever darkness lies beneath the town's suffering. Alright, welcome to the build section. In this part of the video, I'll be scratch building the next encounter in the Crafted Campaign, the Mysterious Tomb, mostly using XPS foam. Alongside the terrain, I'll also be printing and painting a few new minis for this chapter of the story, but we'll keep those a bit vague for now. I just want to say, I'm really glad this series is back. I've been having a lot of fun building these pieces and telling the story, and it's been awesome seeing all the positive comments from everyone. So with that, I'm going to leave you with the build, and I'll jump back in at the end to share what happens next with our adventurers. Alright, enjoy! The captured bandit led them away from the road and deeper into the remote outskirts of the town, where the trees grew thick and crooked and the light thinned to a dull green gloom. They reached a narrow break in the tree line. "That's it," the bandit said, slowing. "This is as far as we go." Yulborn studied him. "Ever?" The bandit nodded quickly. "That was the rule. We guard the edge, nothing more." He explained that his crew had been hired by the cloaked figures to protect the site during their gatherings. The pay was generous, far more than the work warranted. The rules were strict though, no questions, no crossing the threshold. "A gathering," Jaina said. "What kind of gathering?" "Don't know, didn't want to. They paid us to keep people out, not look in," replied the bandit. He claimed the spot should have been guarded by them tonight, but preparations for the ambush against the party had drawn the bandits away, leaving the place unprotected. "You're coming with us," Yulborn said flatly. The bandit swallowed and nodded. They pressed forward, forcing their way through the dense undergrowth until the forest thinned and then fell away entirely. A tomb jutted from the earth at its center, half buried and ancient, its entrance framed by cracked pillars and carvings worn smooth by time. Roots coiled through broken masonry. Moss crept across the stone in thick, uneven patches. Whatever this place had once been, it resisted being forgotten. Then they heard it. Chanting voices carried on the air, melodic and wrong, weaving together in a language none of them recognized. The party slowed, spreading out instinctively. Through the trees they caught sight of the figures cloaked in dark fabric, kneeling in a wide ring before the half-buried stone entrance of the tomb. Their chanting rose and fell in careful rhythm. "A cult," Yulborn murmured. In that instant, one of the kneeling figures turned. Eyes met. The chant broke. The cultists sprang to their feet, hissed a sharp warning, and vanished into the woods before anyone could give chase. Silence rushed in behind them, leaving only the tomb. The party advanced cautiously, weapons ready. They searched the site for anything that might have explained the plague. It was Jaina who found the clue. "Here," she said, crouched near the tomb's entrance. A viscous green substance clung to the stone, faintly luminescent even in the low light. It pulsed, slowly, like something still alive. Feifel turned to the bandit. "What do you know about this?" The man shook his head, fear clear on his face. "Nothing, I swear it." Then after a moment's hesitation, he added, "But I know someone who might. A friend. He owns a shop that stays open later than it should, sells things that don't belong on shelves and knows things most folk don't. If I introduce you to him, you let me go. My debt's paid." The party exchanged glances and agreed to the bandit's terms. Together, they turned back towards the town with the sample in hand, carrying with it the uneasy hope that its secrets might explain the sickness spreading through the streets.